Hello, boys. I'm going to do something that I haven't ever done. I'm going to do just this one story for this one video, just as a test. And then I'm going to do another video right after this, the usual, covering the news. Although this is the news. All right. So a little background story, because today, this Hell's Angels story ends here. Surprisingly. About 2 years ago, do you remember I did a video with you guys? We were talking about this Nomad Hell's Angel, Phil Crazy Boudreau. I think that was his name. The guy in the middle here that you see with the Nomad patch on his chest. Well, these are Ontarians. And the story goes something like this. My memory's bad. It's been 2 years. I covered too many stories. Hard to to get all the details perfect. But here's the gist of it. Once upon a time, we had a biker war. And when that war ended, it was because the police were raiding the Hells Angels in Quebec. And they put them in prison. All the old heads, all the masterminds of the biker war saga. And so what happened is there was a vacuum inside of the province. Now, this is before these street gangs became as powerful as they are today, however powerful that they are, getting their own stash now, not paying taxes anymore, forming alliances between cities, even provinces. Before all that, okay, when the street gangs were still, I say, mini cells working, begging their masters for a paycheck. Back then, So back then, once the Quebec Hells, they were locked up, there was a vacuum, and what happened was they asked for reinforcements from Ontario to come manage the territories, because there was money to be made, and you can't just let that vacuum, because somebody else is gonna come and supply that vacuum, and then you'll lose your control and power of the territory. So, what else? What better than to ask people from your own organization to come in, right? Brother, Hell's Angels, they call each other brothers. Hey, brother, all the time, right? So they got the guys from Ontario to come in, and how fitting, this man here. Your patch says where you're from. You're supposed to operate from that area, right? So you'll have Montreal, you'll have Quebec. I don't know, three river, whatever, whatever they put their patch on, that's their territory. So the Ontarians, they had the nomads. Nomads means they can operate anywhere that they wish. But of course, you're gonna sort of have to ask permission. So they were invited. The Quebec Angels asked these guys to come over, and they did what they had to do. They reeked in the profits, is that how you say it? But eventually, those old-timers in prison started to get released throughout the years, through time. And when they came back, these new nomads were putting in work for them, and they didn't want to go. Well, that's the rumor. They did not want to go. Why should they? They've been putting in all this work the whole time. They're just going to get up and lose all their labor? Well, there seems to have been a disagreement between both of them. And as brothers are not supposed to do, well, one day, the leader here, Phil Boudreau, for the Ontarian Nomad chapter at the time, he got shot right here in Quebec. And you don't need to ask yourself who shot him. Well, we don't know who exactly, but you get an idea which interests. So the moral of the story is Quebec belongs to Quebecers. No matter what you think, you're only borrowing this thief for a moment here, and then you're gonna have to go. They'll find it super offensive. They were willing to kill their own patch members for it. So that's what happened, and that's what we covered last time we were checking news about the guy. Well, today the update, my friend. Hell's Angels Crazy Phil Boudreau dies at 50 years of age. Now, I would have loved to be sensational, although I don't wish death on anybody, but it would have been something to tell you that he was killed. Thankfully, he wasn't. But he died. So how did he die? What happened to the guy? Well, let's check it out. They're saying that he was sort of I don't know if it's the right word, handicapped in the last few years. So it's been happened like 10 years ago, right? And he died this Tuesday. So he was living sort of like a handicap. Here's a picture of him with a beautiful lady, and you could see that he's on a wheelchair here. His legs look kind of weird, like crippled type of thing, but he still looked healthy as far as we can tell. He may have been in pain, all that, maybe taking medication, who knows. They say that one on his last publications on Facebook, so he has Facebook, he posted a photo on the 12th of January. Crazy appeared in the photo, tired, in company of his wife. Is this the picture itself? I don't know how you could tell that he looks tired from this picture. Maybe it's another one. But then he posted a short message that accompanied this photo. It says, "Back home. I'm back home. Just in case that you would have, just in case they forgot about me, I'm still alive and I'm still fighting," he said. 12th of January. So moral is still high, and he has nice patty cakes to smash every day. He's still happy. He still has all of this. You're gonna figure out why I'm telling you this, because in this article I read it. Sorry, so I can skip a little bit here. Give me one sec. I thought I saw it somewhere here. Am I crazy here? I'm sure I read it somewhere. Well, anyways, I'm not gonna even try to find it. They are. Oh, there you go. There you go. This is where it is. The circumstances around the death of Crazy Phil Boudreau were not divulged publicly, but according to our informations. Now, the information of Journal de Montréal, very often they are correct. Very often, and Maxime Delan is not a nobody. He's given us bombs in the past, bombshell news. Here he says he would have taken his own life while he was in Alberta. So they're saying that he may have, I can't say the word. He may have offed himself. He may have been tired of living like this, because they say Phil was a tough guy. He was it a MMA guy or a boxer guy? They had a gym or things like that. I'm pretty certain he was a MMA guy or something, before he became a biker, or when he was. I think it was before, because he looked totally different the older he got. He looked more healthy when he was in the MMA scene, so I think it was the younger pictures that I saw. But they're saying that he killed himself. Now, he waited 10 years to do it. I don't know. Usually, you when you're crippled like this, I would imagine logically, the moment that would hit your depression would be the following few years, not 10 years later. It would seem that by year 10, you would have made some sort of peace with it. Plus, you're getting older. You're no longer crazy, as they say. You no longer have that testosterone boiling on you. You no longer feel like you need to show off. What age was he here? He was 50. Usually become more relaxed, more chill about things. You don't no longer need to prove yourself. You don't feel like you're left behind. You're 50, man. You start to gain wisdom, and those things you don't feel buried and forgotten at that point, Although I gotta say his post does kind of say something like that. But he said, "I'm still fighting, and I'm still here." But they say he killed himself. I don't know, man. Something's not right for me, But I'm just not. Plus, you still have this to go at night too. I don't know, man. Unless I would buy it fully if they wrote the article. She just left him to go with another dude, as often happens. But I didn't read that part. If that part was written, I'd be certain of myself. I'd say, yeah, that had something to do with it, and he maybe offed himself. So I don't know. What do you think? Well, let's see what we can find here. Yeah, he was a boxer. It says boxer, not MMA, boxer. So he was part of Satan's Choice and then the Hells Angels. He did 2 years in prison, 2007. He was a victim of an attempt in 2016 in La Chute. All right. Well, yeah. What do you think? You guys let me know. Do you think he killed himself? Or nah, they got something wrong here. Well, if he didn't kill himself, the question is, how did he die? Probably some form of physical ailment took him out. I'm leaning on that. I don't know about the killing himself thing. But what do I know? I'm just purely guessing. Just doesn't sit right with me with the post that he made, the wife that he has, and the 10 years that he lived, that he decides now's the time. You would think that would have gotten to him, this, this, how you say, this fall would have gotten to him a while ago. Not 10 years later at 50 years of age. Anyways, I'm going to do another video. What's up, Jason? And the Mountain Woman and Chris Inslee. I'm going to do another stream right now. I'm going to go straight to the news. All right? Well, thanks a lot.